This ain't nothing for the pack.
Okay, Coach, we are in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Cleveland Browns. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
Ready, back, 25, behind. 44. Wait. Get in the right.
Winston now to throw on first down. It's caught by Mike Evans. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. And that's the first connection, the number 1 overall pick in 2015, finding the number 7 pick in 2014 in Evans.
And what a great target Mike Evans is for Jameis Winston. Winston's a pretty accurate thrower, but that catch radius that Evans provides, that makes him that much more dangerous.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. To throw is Winston. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
Well, I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Browns' 41-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Check back. Alert 3, triple T.
From the gun, Winston. He finds McKinnon, complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 3rd down.
Hey, stop.
3rd and short yardage, Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Check, ready, 53's mine. Check, 53's mine. Hey, what's that? Hey, what's the...
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. A gain of 3, second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
And let's see, the Bucs with 6 DBs, so a dime set here on 3rd down.
Check 45 to Mike. Check 45 to Mike.
From the gun, it's Jackson. He's got his man on the crossing route. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 46-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Winston. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Jameis now 8 of 8 throwing the ball in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Throwing. Winston. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
It's 2nd down and 10.
And just 1 tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Here's Winston. He hits his target, left side, Watson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Now he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. O.J. Howard with his second touchdown here in this first half as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. So they've had 2 drives, and he's had the 2 receiving touchdowns.
And how about a game plan where you decide to force feed or feature someone, and it works? First 2 drives, as you noted, end up in touchdown passes. I think they're going to keep going to them until defense makes any kind of an adjustment.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
I'm scared.
From the gun, Jackson. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Let him know.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Check.
Jackson now. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Give them 32 on the play.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Come on, set. 18 Gator. Run it.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
At the Bucs 12-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
53. Mike 53. Check tight.
Now it's Hunt. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Jackson. Buying time to his left. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
It's 4th down.
And his kick is indeed good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
And an alley to run. And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. A big run there by Jones. 49 yards. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Jameis to throw it. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. 1 back in the game. That's Jones. 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Jameis Winston on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They're on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. From the gun on third down, Jackson firing quickly here, and that's complete. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Here we go.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
They run again with Hunt. Not a whole lot of room to run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the great move. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or 2. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 30, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, 83 yards, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. To throw on third down. Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. "34 yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. And officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Hey, I'm coming.
Now it's Jackson. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. They'll run for it. Chubb, and he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. On 1st down, it's Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it. 3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run on 1st down. Jones.
I got you, boy.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will extend this big lead. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with...
Accelerating, and off he goes. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 37 yards.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
At their own 38-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Again, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
At the Browns 48-yard line.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now Winston. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll run again with Hunt. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the 30 on second down. Jackson. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway.
It's a gain of 25 yards on the play. And the Browns first down.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They give to Chubb out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson eluding the pressure right. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Jackson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Point after, right down the middle, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player or broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for...
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Vita Vea picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike, 53.
Jackson from the shotgun. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And did he get in? No, they'll mark him down at the 1-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Winston on the keeper.
One back in the game. That's Jones, 2nd and goal.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
And they will take a knee here.
Winston on the keeper.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Tampa Bay, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And